right, so question 1 was simple solving equations. The first one, there's multiplication in there, so to undo that, you have to do division. 1 point for a equals 7, actually 2 points, 1 point for also showing me how you did it. So 1 for divide by 6, 1 for a equals 7, yeah. You were definitely called up with the E's. Come on up. Yeah, I thought I had, but maybe that was last week. I'm losing it. Question 1b, you do plus 7 first and then you divide by 4 next. Divide by 5. I think it's divide by 4. Super stuff. Very good. Okay, so you needed to show me add 7. Remember, your options are you could do add 7 underneath and then do a big line, or you can do the square brackets, whatever you want to do. It should be divide by 4. Yeah. And then we get e equals 5, so that is 4 points. C, you times both sides by 3, and you get C equals 24. How are we rolling with equations? Are we okay? Yeah? Okay. D. Now, for D, there is subtraction, so we have to undo that subtraction first by doing add 2, and we get F over 5 equals 3. Then we multiply both sides by 5, and we get F equals 15. H, for E, why do I not get rid of this plus 4 first? Why would I not do minus 4 for this one first, Juliet? There are imaginary brackets on the whole numerator, and so we look at SAD mob brackets we deal with last. So the first thing we look for, is there addition or subtraction? No, there's not. Is there division or multiplication? Yes, there is. There's divide by 6. So our first step is to multiply by 6. I had a few of you tell me you couldn't answer that one, so I'm hoping this shows you how to do that one. And then we minus 4 from both sides, and we get H equals 14, 4 points. Yep. 2-step equation, 4 points. 1 for each step and 1 for showing each step. Okay, F, you have 2 options. Most of you probably did the blue option, which is where you expand first, then you add 45 to both sides, and you divide by 5. Option 2 is to divide both sides by 5 first, and you get I minus 9 equals 5, and you add 9 to both sides. Which, Liam, I'm guessing that's the option you took. I know. You do need to add 45, because 5 times 9 is negative 45, and then you add that to the other side. Okay, are we all good with that? I'll give you a total in a sec. Question 2, we've got a rectangle for 1, a parallelogram for 1, and a kite for 1. What would make this one a rhombus? How could I make that a rhombus? Gabby? Yes, but how can I change this to a rhombus? Yep. Or how can I make this one into a rhombus? Jaden? Tilt it over? Not quite. Estelle? All the side lengths need to be the same. So I'd need to make these 2 side lengths shorter, and if all the side lengths were the same, it would be a rhombus. How could I make this one a square? Chop it in half. Well, maybe. Chop the side lengths down. Yeah, make the side lengths the same. Okay, number 3. A was 140. I was looking for some working, and then I was looking for an answer of 140 degrees. B was a few steps. The first step was we had to figure out what A was. How do I figure out how many degrees A is? 180 minus 110, because we know that a straight line has 180 degrees in it. So 180 minus 110, so therefore A is 70. And then we can use A to figure out B, because we know that all the other angles add to 360. So B was 100 degrees. Okay. C is, if that was in your exam, that would definitely be complex we haven't talked about this. What do you know about circles? So good. Circles have 360 degrees. So you use that fact to say, well, that means that this angle here plus this angle here has to equal 360. So A plus 110 is 360. So A is 250. And then we add all of the angles inside the quadrilateral to get that B equals 30. All right. On that page, we have got a total out of 4, 8, 10, 13, 18, 22, 26, 30, 34. 34 for the first page. So can you please add up your score out of 34? Okay, page 2. Question 4 was substitution. So it says, tell me the value of y if x equals 3. So you substitute in x equals 3 and you get y equals 8. Okay, for B, you substitute in x equals 8 and you get y equals 33. And for C, C was a little bit different because it said, tell me what x equals if y equals a number. So you had to sub in y and then you had to solve using your equation solving for x. Did we all figure that one out? Nice. All right. Question 5. Mike the plumber charges a call-out fee of $50 per hour. What is a call-out fee? Gabs. Oh, you have a question about the previous one? You don't have to write the 04 sign. It's good practice too, but you don't get marked down for it. Okay. Eve. Yes. Yes. So a call-out fee is a fee that you have to pay for somebody to come to your house. So if you work for 10 hours, if a plumber comes to your house and they work for 10 hours, or if they come to your house and they work for 1 hour, does the call-out fee change? No, it is a once-off fee. So the call-out fee of $30 is once off. The thing that changes is the $50 per hour thing. Okay, you needed to use VESPA setting out. What did you define your variable as? Abby? Good. Let x equal the number of hours. Worked is perfect. If you chucked Mike in there, that's perfect. Pardon? That is 1 point. Okay. Who's got an equation for me? Kaylee. Good. 30 plus 50 times h, or times x, whatever your variable is. Now, if you were even more clever than me, you will have just written 50x. You wouldn't have put a times in between them. So 30 plus 50x equals 180. Now we need to solve that. So we take away 30 from both sides and we divide both sides by 50. Therefore, Mike worked 3 hours, 5 points. Hands up if you got that. Wow, impressive. All right. Simplify the ratios. So for A, you divided everything by 3, you got 1 to 4. B, you divided everything by 12, you got 4 to 5, sorry. C, we divided everything by 5, and we got 13 to 11 to 20. If you made a mistake on one side of the ratio, you give yourself half a point. All right, number 7. Express them as a simplified rate. So you remember a simplified rate is when the second number is what? What do we want the second number to be? 1. So you had to write it out and then you had to change that second number to 1. So 56 kilometers in half an hour means 112 kilometers in 1 hour. 6, I might even give that, let's make that 2. 600 litres in 3 days, that is 200 litres per day. 840 words in 5 minutes is 168 words per minute. Gabby. That's fine. No, that's fine. You can have the 1 there. Usually we don't though, right? Like when you think about speed, it's like 60 kilometers per hour. We don't say 60 kilometers per 1 hour. So once we're simplified, that's the point of simplifying. We don't have to write the 1 there. All right, and question 8 is your best buys. So the first column, which one was your best buy? B? I got B as well. So you simplify it down. I was looking for 1 for some working and 1 for the correct answer. So each of these is worth 2 points. You could have simplified it a different way where you made the second number 1. I decided to find out the cost for 1 gram, but you could have found the number of grams you get for $1, which is what I did for C. So either of them is fine. Yep. That's fine as well, as long as you change them to a common. So like for this one here, you could have changed them all to, what did you change them to? 700? Yep, so you could have converted to 700 grams for that one. Yep, that's fine. And figured out which one was the cheapest for 700 grams. That's perfect. Okay, so the second page was out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20, 24, 27 for page 2. 27 for page 2 and 34 for page 1. So we get 61 is our grand total. 34 plus 27. Okay, tune in, here we go. CF style questions, or CU for one of them, but mostly CF. Okay, it says, find the values of A, B, and C given these clues. So 5A plus 2, 5 outside of A plus 2, plus 3 more equals 38. What do you guys think we could do to solve for A? Yep. Simplify the brackets. So we get 5A plus 10 plus 3 more equals 38. So we get 5A plus 13 equals 38. Take away 13 from both sides. We get 5A equals 25. Therefore, A equals. Okay, so now we've got A sorted. Good. Let's look at equation 2. 2B plus 6 minus 12 equals 14. Okay, again, expand the brackets first. 2B plus 10 more equals 14. How do I solve that? Take away 10, 2B equals 4, B equals 2. Okay, and then our last equation is that 3A plus 2B plus C equals 31. How do we solve for C? Yes, Hannah. Substitute. Amazing. I know that A equals 5, so I'm going to replace A with a 5. I know that B equals 2, so I'm going to replace B with 2. I replaced the wrong letter. And then this one, I'll put that in a different color so you can see where it's coming from. That was the purple equation and the blue equation. Plus C equals 31. Now I need to simplify. 3, what's in between the 3 and the 5? Times 15 plus 4 plus C equals 31. That means that 19 plus C equals 31. What is in front of 19? Plus. So how do I get rid of it? Minus. So C equals 31 minus 19, which is just 12. Anyone get that? Amazing. Do you feel like you could do it now? I don't know. Yeah, but if you are aiming for an A, you need to be aiming to do those challenge questions. Okay. James's Nana keeps goats and chickens in her backyard. She says to James, there are 41 animals in the yard. James says to his Nana, there are 134 animal legs in the yard. Determine how many chickens and goats are in the paddock. Use Vespa. Okay, what should we define our variable as? Let G equal Number of, thanks boys, stop. And what else? C equal number of chickens. Okay, with that in mind, if G is the number of goats and C is the number of chickens, please stop. Yeah, hilarious. Go outside. C equals the number of chickens and G equals the number of goats. What did Nana say? Yeah, Alex.
There are 41.
Okay, if there are G goats and C chickens, in total there are 41. How do I make an equation out of that? Yes.
G plus C.
Good. There's our first equation. Now, how many legs do chickens have? Okay, so for every, this is for their legs now. For every chicken, there's going to be 2 legs. And for every goat, how many legs will there be? Okay, so 2C plus 4G equals 134. Now we've got a second equation. This is higher order thinking. If G plus C equals 41, what does just G equal? Kaylee. Well done. You can rearrange to make 1 the rule, the subject of the rule, right? So we could take away C from both sides. Now what we do is we're going to use substitution where we take that information that G equals 41 minus C, and I'm going to replace my G in my other equation with that. So that means 2C plus 4 times 41 minus C equals 134. This is definitely complex unfamiliar, guys. This is a hard question. We get 2C plus 164 minus 4C equals 134. So we get negative 2C equals negative 30. Therefore, C equals, what is in between the negative 2 and the C here? Time. So that means I have to divide both sides by negative 2, divide by negative 2, and I get C equals positive 15. If there are 15 chickens, how many goats are there? Good, 41 minus 15, so G equals 41 minus 15, which is 26. Did anyone get that? Woo! Woo! Well done. Okay, last one, here we go. 5 consecutive numbers have the middle number of 3x minus 1. What does consecutive mean? There's 3x minus 1. In a row, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's consecutive. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, if this one, for example, if this one was 6, what number would be to the right? Okay, so how do we get there? No, what do we do? Plus 1. So what is 3x minus 1 plus 1? Okay, now I plus 1 again. What do we get? 3x plus 1. Good. Now I go the other way. How do I go left? So it'd be 3x minus 2. And I go left, I get 3x. Okay, and it says that the sum, what does sum mean? Adding. The sum of those numbers is 670, so we get 3x minus 3 plus 3x minus 2 plus 3x minus 1 plus 3x plus 3x plus 1 all together equals 670. How do I solve that? Liam? 3x plus 3x plus 3x plus 3x plus 3x is 15x. No powers. We're just adding them together. So I've got 3x, 6x, 9x, 12x, 15x. And then we do the numbers. Negative 3 minus 2. What's negative 3 minus 2? Negative 5 minus 1. Negative 6 plus 1. Minus 5 equals 670. Therefore, 15x equals 675. Therefore, x equals 45. And then the last step is to go back and find those numbers. That's a CU question. But it is not a hard CU question. So the answer was, in the end, 132, 133, 134, 135, and 136. Okay, excellent, guys. You now have got 20 minutes to do some revision. You have lots of places. I really don't need to see. Sorry, let me just show you this in case you haven't seen it already, but I think I've been through it with you. You have got this term 3 revision page. Your exam is next week. Is it a calculator exam, which means I'm looking for calculators today. I need to see calculators. Pardon? You have lots of revision you need to be doing. You really shouldn't be doing Education Perfect at the moment. You should be using a pen and writing on paper or a whiteboard.